Subscribe for more.
I never thought humiliation could be so quiet, so public, and so deliberate at the same time. My name is Caleb Wright. I am 38, and until last spring I believed marriage meant loyalty, patience, and mutual respect. We were at a friend's housewarming, wine glasses clinking, laughter filling the room, everyone relaxed. Then she smiled, tapped her glass, and told a story about how boring I was in bed, how predictable, how safe. People laughed. I smiled too, because that is what men do when the floor disappears beneath them. That moment stayed with me longer than realized. Her name is Eleanor Brooks, British-born, sharp-tongued, effortlessly charming in public. We met in Manchester years ago when I was working logistics and she was studying marketing. I liked her confidence, the way she commanded rooms. For years she said she loved my stability, my reliability, my calm. I paid the mortgage, planned holidays, remembered anniversaries. Somewhere along the way, admiration turned into entitlement. Jokes replaced conversations. Eye rolls replaced affection. I told myself it was a phase, that marriages evolve, that silence was better than conflict. I ignored the warnings because leaving felt unthinkable then to me. The humiliation did not end that night. It became a pattern, subtle at first, then sharper. At dinners, she corrected me, mocked my opinions, shared private arguments as entertainment. Friends laughed awkwardly. No one defended me. I stopped speaking much in groups, choosing silence over embarrassment. At home, intimacy thinned until it felt ceremonial, scheduled, empty. When I asked if something was wrong, she shrugged and said I was being sensitive. That phrase followed me everywhere, like a verdict. Sensitive men are easy to dismiss. I learned how loneliness can exist inside crowded rooms without anyone noticing it all there. The night everything shifted happened months later at a birthday gathering. Eleanor had been drinking, louder than usual, eyes bright with something careless. She joked about a colleague she called exciting, someone who actually listened, someone spontaneous. Then she looked at me and said, not joking, that monogamy felt wasted on men like me. The room went quiet. I felt heat crawl up my neck. I laughed once, stood up, and said I needed air. No one followed. That walk outside changed how I understood respect forever. I stopped excusing behavior I would never accept again from anyone, including her. People assume retaliation looks like shouting or revenge scenes. Mine looked like patience. Over the next weeks, I watched carefully. Late nights multiplied. Phone locked, screen tilted away. Stories stopped adding up. One evening she showered immediately after coming home, humming, distant. I did not confront her. I waited. When the truth arrived, it did not shock me. It clarified everything. Cheating was not the wound. Disrespect was. The affair only explained her contempt, not created it. I finally understood my role had been convenient, not cherished. That realization stripped away fear and replaced it with resolve at last there. I did not expose her publicly. I did something quieter. At the next gathering, when conversation turned toward loyalty and trust, I spoke calmly. I shared how humiliation erodes love, how jokes can wound, how respect is non-negotiable. I did not name her, but I did not protect her either. She interrupted, laughed nervously, tried to steer things away. I continued, steady, looking around the room. Faces shifted. People understood. The medicine was honesty. No insults, no shouting, just truth placed carefully on the table. She went silent, recognizing herself in every sentence, and the power balance changed instantly there. After that night, the relationship ended without drama. She accused me of cruelty, of embarrassment, of betrayal. I told her calmly that mirrors feel harsh to those avoiding reflection. We separated within weeks. Friends chose sides quietly. Some apologized later. I moved into a small flat, lighter than I had felt in years. Humiliation loses its grip when you refuse to carry it. Cheating lost its sting when I reclaimed my dignity. Consequences arrive naturally, without theatrics. I learned self-respect is not loud, but unmistakably firm. It changes how others treat you permanently once you stop negotiating your worth. Months later, I heard she told people I humiliated her on purpose. Maybe I did, or maybe I simply refused to absorb her contempt anymore. There is a difference. One is revenge. The other is boundaries. I no longer explain myself. I no longer shrink to make others comfortable. Public jokes taught me that respect, once broken, must be addressed in daylight. Silence protects abusers. Calm truth exposes them. That lesson cost me a marriage, but it gave me myself. I would rather be alone than applauded while being diminished. That choice continues to feel right every single day now. I am not bitter. I am precise. Humiliation taught me clarity. Love without respect is not love, it is endurance. Cheating without remorse is not temptation, it is exit behavior. If you recognize this story, listen closely. Do not laugh along with your own erasure. Do not trade dignity for peace. Speak once, calmly, clearly. If they mock that too, walk away. Some medicines sting, others heal. Knowing which is which saves years. I learned too late, but still in time to change. The lesson stands for anyone willing to accept it before resentment becomes their permanent companion in life. Today my life is quieter and honest. No performances, no public jabs disguised as humor. I choose people who speak with care and act with consistency. Eleanor chose excitement over respect, and that was her decision. I chose self-respect, and that was mine. Humiliation only works if you consent to it. I withdrew my consent and walked forward. That was the taste of medicine we both needed, even if only one of us learned from it. Some stories end loudly. Others end with steady resolve. This one taught me how to keep my spine straight when tested publicly again.